Hello, welcome to my next video lecture. This video lecture is again on module 5, that is structure and union. But this is specifically dealing with the programs related with the structure data type. In the last video lecture we have seen how to declare a structure data type and how to create a variable for a structure data type. In this lecture we will try to use the structure data type variables for processing the data. We will take first program as an example. Let us declare a structure cricket to store following information about a cricket player. We will store name of a player, country of a player, number of matches played by that player, and batting average of a cricket player. And we will write a program to read the records of up to 20 players, 20 cricket players, and display them in a table form. So the question is, we should be able to read the records and we should be display them in a particular form, that is table form. Let us see how to solve this particular problem. The first thing that we need to do in our program is we need to declare a structure data type. So this is just a revision of whatever we have seen in the previous lecture. We know the structure data type can be declared by using keyword struct as follows. So we need to declare a structure data type cricket, so struct cricket, and since we need to store 4 parts of information, that is name of a player NOP, country of a player COP, number of matches played NOM, and batting average BA, we will declare these 4 fields inside the structure data type cricket. We know cricket is name of a structure data type, and these 4 things, these 4 variables which are declared inside structure cricket are called as fields of a structure data type. We also know this is required to be performed before the main function, and this will not reserve any memory. Now let's go ahead to the next step. We require variable to store the memory. That means we need to create array of a structure variable. So we will create array of a structure variable by writing command struct cricket p in square bracket 20. Why we have selected capacity 20? Because question says you should be able to store and process records of up to 20 players. So this array allows me to store and process records of up to 20 players. Maximum records I can store is 20. Then the array after creation will look something like this inside a memory. It will have 20 main elements like P0, P1 up to P19, and since every element is a structure variable, it will consist of 4 parts inside it, 4 fields inside it, that is NOP, COP, NOM and BA. Now our aim is to read the information from the user and store them into the structure variable fields. So we have to initialize structure variables one by one, starting from P0 up to P19 or up to N, that is of user's choice. So we will ask the user how many players information you wanted to store, and we will accept and store it into the variable N, and we will read the records of N players. Maximum N can be 20. Let us see how we will read the information for a first player. So it is very simple interaction. We will ask the user that enter player name, and since player name is going to be a string, we should use a function getS for reading the string. You can see I am not using scanf, I am using getS for reading string from user. Question is what I should write here. Here I should specify destination location, that means where I wanted to store the string. I know since this is the name of a first player, it should come inside NOP of P0. Therefore, by using member access operator, here inside this getS function brackets, what I need to write is P0.nom. So getS function will accept the name of first player and it will store it into the NOM field present in P0 variable. So it will get stored over here, right? Then we should accept the country of a player. So I will ask the user enter country of a player. Since country of a player is also a string, we will read it by using getS function. Again the question is what I should specify as a destination. I know the country of the first player is required to be stored in COP of P0. Therefore, by using member access operator, we will write P0.cop. Then we should ask enter number of matches played by that player. And then now I should use scanf function because number of matches played is going to be integer number. And then I should use scanf. Decimal value I have to read, so percentage %d, and where I should store it? I should store it in nom of p0. So for that we need to specify address of p0.nom. And finally, for the first player we should read batting average. So I will ask the user to enter the batting average, which I will read again by using scanf function because batting average is a float value. So I will read it by using percentage %f, and I have to specify address of destination. So who is going to be the destination for this? It is of course BA present in P0. So I should write P0.BA. So this is how we can accept the information from user and store it in the fields of first structure variable, that is P0. So we have accepted 4 parts of the record of a first player and we have stored it into the first element of array P. What is important to note is whenever we are reading string by using getS function, you need not have to specify address. You have to specify only name of the field which is linked with the variable name. But whenever we are reading integer field or float field, we need to specify address of that field by using address of operator. This will initialize only the first variable, first element of array P, that is record of player 1. Same procedure we can follow or we can repeat for remaining players only by changing index number. That means this procedure I should put inside a for loop, and then this 0 should be replaced by I, where first value of I will be 0. So I will repeat this process for n players, which is specified by user. We will do it in a C program very soon. Let us complete all the steps that are required to be performed in this program first. So we'll go to the next part of our program. After reading all the records from the user, our aim is to display them in a table form. And you know, whenever we wanted to display information by using table form, a table will consist of many columns and every column will have its unique column head. So our first aim is to display column heads. This can be achieved by using or by writing a simple printf command like this. So it will simply display player name, then space, country name, then space, matches, space, and then batting average, and then it will change the line. So output of this line will be like this. I have missed the %t over here, so I will write that t whenever I am writing a program. So output of this printf will simply come like this. It will display 4 words with space in between. Now below these columns we should display the records of the cricket player. Like below player name, I should display names of all the players. Below country, I should display their corresponding country, matches played, and then the batting average. How to achieve this? This can be achieved by writing a for loop. Since we wanted to display many records, we will use a for loop like this. We will write for I is equal to 0, I less than n because there are n players, I plus plus. So I will act as an index inside my array P and I will use a printf statement. Now you see the printf statement that I am using. The first format specifier I used is %s, that is for displaying the contents of NOP, which is present in variable pi. So whenever I is 0, this will be simply p0.nop, which will display name of first player. Then I will use \t escape sequence to generate a space. Then I will use a second format specifier, that is for again %s, because I wanted to display string present in the field COP, that is country of player. This will, when I is 0, this will display p0.cop, that is country of first player. Then again space will be generated. Then third format specifier I will use is %d to display the decimal value of number of matches played, NOM, and this will display value of p0.nom. Last format specifier that I will use is %f. This will display the batting average, which is a float value of p0. And after displaying or completing the record of one player, I will use \n so that the record of second player or next player will be displayed on new line. So this will be repeated n times to display the records of n players. So this is a very simple for loop which will display the records in a table form. I hope you understood the procedure up till now. So let us implement this much procedure in our program first. I will go to my Turbo C environment and we will try to write this program. As I already told you, the structure data type is required to be declared first and it has to be declared before void main. So let us declare a structure data type by writing struct and name of the structure data type as cricket. Inside this, let us declare all the fields. So let us say first field is char nop and the capacity is 50 characters. Then again char cop country of a player and with the capacity 50 characters. Then we will declare integer variable int whose name will be nom, number of matches, and this is a single variable. Then we will declare a float variable ba, that is batting average, and this is a single variable. We will close the curly bracket and we will put a semicolon. So this is the declaration of structure data type. This will declare only structure data type and will not reserve any memory. Now we need to create array of structure variable inside main. I can do it outside main also. I can do it here also simply by writing p in square bracket 20. But this will be considered as a global variable. If I wanted to make it a local variable, I can do it inside void main like this, like a normal variables. I can declare it as a struct. Let's say name of the structure data type is cricket, and then I will create array p with capacity 20. This is declaration of structure variable. In fact, this is array of structure variable, and I have already shown you how it will look like inside the memory. So we got the place for storing the records of 20 cricket players. Now we need some integer variables as index and limit. So I will take integer variable I as well as I will take integer variable n. Right? Now we will write CLR SCR and we will start interaction with the user. First thing that I should read from the user is how many players record the user wanted to store. I have given a space for 20 players, but user can decide anything less than 20. So I will ask the user how many records you want to store. So this is the first question I will ask the user. The user will specify choice, which I will read by using scanf function %d, and we will write address of n. Now we know how many records exactly we need to read or accept from the user. So now I will ask the user to enter following information about the players. So I will write printf and I will ask the user enter following information about the players. Enter following information about the players. And now since we need to read the information about n players, we should do it by writing a for loop. So we will write a for loop like this: for I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Inside this for loop, we will write that set of commands which I have already shown you in the presentation. First, we should ask the user about the player name. So I will ask the user enter player name. And since this is a string, we should read it by using getS function, and I already told you what we need to write here: pi dot nop, that is name of a player, right? So this will accept the name of a player from the user. Similarly, I should keep on asking other information from the user. I will ask the user enter country of a player. User will enter country of a player, that I should read by using again getS function. This time I have to write pi dot cop, that is country of a player. Then I should ask the number of matches played. So I will ask number of matches played. This information, since it is an integer number, I should read it by using a scanf function %d, and we should specify address of pi dot nom. Then finally we should ask the question printf enter batting average, enter batting average, and that I will accept by using again scanf %f and then writing address of pi dot ba. Right now I will explain you two practical problems that you will face while reading these two values. First we will try and write simply like this and we will check whether it will work or not. Now the next step in my program is to display these records in a table form, and I already told you a table will consist of column heads that are required to be displayed first. So I should write printf, then I should write the player name as the first column head followed by space \t, then country of a player, then again followed by space, then number of matches played, so matches, followed by again space, and finally batting average, which will be followed by \n because I need to go to the next line after displaying all column heads. So this will display only column heads in the output. Now we need to display all the records. For displaying all the records, we need to write a for loop again. For I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Inside this for loop, we should use that printf that I already explained in the PowerPoint presentation. So I need to use format specifiers %s for displaying name followed by space, then %s for displaying country, then again space, then %d for displaying the number of matches played, again space, %f for displaying the batting average, and this will complete record of one player. So after that I should change line by using \n, and then I will just highlight this so that it is more clearly visible. Okay, now we should specify the corresponding variables. For first %s, I should specify name of the variable as pi dot name of player nop. For second variable, I should specify pi dot cop, that is country of a player. For third format specifier, I should specify pi dot nom, that is number of matches. And for last format specifier, I should specify pi dot ba. Let us complete this printf by putting normal bracket and semicolon. End this for loop. This for loop will display the records of all the players. Then I will write get ch to end my program and curly bracket of main. So this is a very simple program we completed, which will try to read or accept the records of up to 20 players, and it will display them in a table form. Let us compile our program to check for any error. After compilation, we can run the program, and now you can see the practical problems that we can face while reading the information of the players. So it is asking me how many records you want to store. I will say I wanted to store records of, let's say, 5 players. When I press enter, it will ask me enter following information about the player, and then you can see it is asking me enter player name, and then without waiting for my input, it is directly asking enter country of a player. That means I am not able to enter player name. Why this problem came, we will discuss quickly after this program execution. But I can enter country of a player. So let's say country of a player is India. Then I press enter. Then it is asking me number of matches played. So for reading number of matches played, we should enter some number like, let's say, 124. Then I will press enter, and you will see that the program has stopped abruptly. If I go back to the output window to see what is the error, why the program stopped abruptly, it will show me this message that enter batting average, and then it is saying scanf floating point formats not linked, abnormal program termination. So this is an inbuilt problem for ANSI C or Turbo C, which says that we cannot initialize float field. BA is a float field. BA is a float field of a structure. So the problem is float field of a structure cannot be initialized directly by taking user input. Scanf cannot initialize BA field of a structure data type. This is an inbuilt problem and we have to live with it. But we should find out some solution to alternative solution to perform this initialization. The alternative solution is simple. What I will do is I will take a temporary float variable, let's say AVG, name of that variable is average. This is not a field of a structure data type. It is standalone variable. It is not part of a structure. So can I read value into the variable AVG? The answer is yes. There is absolutely no problem in reading value in the field AVG or in the variable AVG. But this value should get stored into pi.avg, So how to store it into pi.ba? It's very simple. After reading value from AVG, we will not keep it there. Now we can initialize pi.avg is equal to pi.ba is equal to avg. So whatever value we have accepted in the variable avg, we immediately store it into pi.ba. So this will avoid the problem of floating point formats not linked, which caused abnormal termination of my program. But while reading name of a player also I have faced a problem. We are not able to enter the name of a player. If you remember, when I executed the program, it has given this prompt that enter player name, but not even a chance to enter the player name. This is because of another inbuilt problem that arose because of this process. Here in this scanf, we have accepted a number, integer number, and after that we are trying to read a string. This will always create problem in Turbo C. To overcome this problem, we are having a solution. The solution is we should flush the standard input buffer. So we need to flush standard input buffer before reading a string, after reading number. So this situation is important. Before reading a string, after reading a number, and it can be performed by using a simple function fflush, and in bracket I need to write stdin. So fflush will flush the buffer whose name is stdin, where stdin stands for standard input, right? So this will allow me to enter the player name even after reading the number. So I hope we have overcome both the problems that we came across while first execution of my program. Let us compile the program again and then run it. Now see, it is again asking me how many records you want to store. So I will say I wanted to store, let's say, 3 records. Now if you observe carefully, it will say enter following information about the players, and it is asking me player name and waiting for me to enter the player name. Let us enter the name of a player which is favorite of most of us, let's say Sachin Tendulkar. Then it will ask me enter country of a player, so let's say India. Then it will ask me number of matches played, since I do not know it exactly, but I hope he must have played more than 400 matches, so let's say 412 matches. You can correct me if you know exact number. Then it is asking me the batting average. Let's hope the batting average of Sachin Tendulkar is better than 40. So let us put some number, let's say 42.67 is the batting average of Sachin Tendulkar. Now you can see my program is able to read the record of first player without any problem. But will it go for reading the record of second player? Let's press enter. Yes, it is working fine. Now it is again asking me the player name. That means now the second player record has started. Let us enter another favorite player of most of us. Let's say Virat Kohli. So let's say Virat K. Enter country of a player, let's say India. Then number of matches played. Let's assume Virat might have played 300 and plus matches. So let's say 367 matches. I don't know exact number. Enter batting average. I hope the batting average of Virat maybe better than Sachin Tendulkar. So let's say batting average of Virat is 47.34. Nobody will reduce your marks for entering these incorrect numbers because that is not important. This is just a data for our program. Let's press enter. We have completed the record of second player and it is again asking me enter player name. That means expecting the third player record. So let's say third player is Brian Lara, which is one of the best batsmen we can have. The country name, let's say West Indies. So let's say West I. Number of matches played, I hope the Lara might have played around 390 matches. Batting average, I think it may be below than Sachin Tendulkar. So let's say batting average is 40.78. We have entered the records of 3 cricket players. My program is successfully able to read them. Now it should be able to display them in a table format. So when I press enter, this is what I will get in the output. So you will find a table is displayed where first column is a player name and all the player names are displayed below it. Second column is country, where countries are displayed one below another. Third is number of matches played and fourth is batting average. You can increase the space by putting one more \t if you wish. Right? So our first program is working fine. It is able to read the records of up to 20 cricket players and display them in a table form. So this is the program which we have completed, where we followed the steps like this. First, we declared a structure data type, that is above main. Then we created array of structure variable for storing the records or creating a space for storing at least 20 records. Then we have accepted user choice, how many records the user wanted to store. And then we performed input operation. We accepted n records by using this for loop. While accepting records, we faced 2 problems. Problem 1, that reading string after a number is not supported clearly. So we need to flush the input buffer stdin, that we did. And problem 2, the floating point formats are not linked. Therefore, we will not be able to initialize BA floating point field directly from user input. So we did it indirectly. That we first accepted the value into the simple variable avg, and from that we copied into the field, that is BA. And then the third part of my program is displaying that records in a table form. That also we have achieved by using a simple for loop. So this is a first simple program related to the structure cricket, right? Let us go back to our presentation where we will go ahead with the next problem. So what we wanted to do now, after able to read and display the records as it is in a table form, we will take up a next possible change in the question. What they can change in the question is, they may ask you to display records of only those players who played more than 100 matches but their batting average is less than 30. So that means we should read records of n players, but we should not display records of all n players. We should display records of only those players who are specifying or who are satisfying the condition that they have played 100 matches and their batting average is less than 30. So we wanted to display only those records. So can we have this program quickly? We have already written a program to read and display records of all the players. Now instead of displaying records of all the players, this for loop is displaying records of all players, all n players. We need to do the selection. Instead of executing this printf always for each value of I, we will display the record of a player only if that record satisfies the condition. What is the condition that is specified in the question? The condition is the number of matches played by the player, that means NOM, played by the player, that means pi.nom, should be greater than 100. The player must have played 100 matches, and that means logical operator and the batting average of that player, that means BA, of the player, that means pi.ba, is less than 30. So I wanted to display the records of only those players who are satisfying this condition. That is, number of matches played is greater than 100, but their batting average is less than 30. So we will put this as a condition inside if. So I will write if statement, and then this printf I will put inside this if. So what will happen if I put this printf inside this if? Now this printf will not be executed for all values of I. This printf will be executed only for those values of I which is satisfying these two conditions. That means only the records of that players will be displayed who are satisfying the above said condition. Let us compile our change and we will run it again. Now it is asking me how many records you want to store. So let's say I wanted to store again 3 records. What is the name of player name? Let's say player name is AAAA. Country of the player is also, let's say, AAAA. I am not entering exact information. Number of matches played, let's say 102 matches are played by this player, and the batting average of this player is, let's say, 25.89. Then enter second player name, let's say BBBB. Country of the player is, let's say, BBBB. Number of matches played by that player is, let's say, 125, and the batting average of this player is, let's say, 45.11. Then 45.11. Then we will enter the information of the third player, let's say CCC. Country is also CCC. Number of matches played by this player is, let's say, 150, and the batting average, or let's say number of matches played, are not 150. We will take less than 100. So we will check whether this record is coming in the output or not. So let's say 98 matches are played by this player, but the batting average of that player is very good, let's say 54.23. So we have entered the 3 records, but when I press enter, it will not display all 3 records. It will display only those records where the number of matches played are more than 100 and the batting average is less than 30. So when I press enter, I will get the first record in the output. That is, the player name is AA, and I made a mistake while entering the data. Country name, oh no, it is displaced. So player name is AAA, country is AAAA, matches played is 102, and batting average is 25.88. Right? So this output we have received. I have to check why number of matches played criteria is not considered for the third player. Let's go back into the program. What condition we have written? pi.nom is it greater than 100, and pi.ba batting average is it less than 30. So 89 number of matches played greater than 100 is false. So this is false. So it's correct. The whatever output we have seen is not incorrect. It is a correct output. Only problem is we need to displace the country name by small amount so that it will go below country. Then 102 will go below matches and 25.88 will go below batting average. So this is how we can achieve the second problem, solution for second problem. Now there can be another possible change, and they may ask you to display records in descending order of their batting average. Now how to perform this operation? To arrange the records in descending order of their batting average, we need to compare the batting average of the players. The player with highest batting average should come on top, and the player with lowest batting average should go at bottom. And this can be achieved as follows. We need to compare batting average of ith player, that is pi.ba, with batting average of jth player, that is pj.ba. This can be simply performed by using if statement, and we will write the condition like this. If pi.ba is smaller than pj.ba, then we will swap the records of ith player and jth player, that is pi and pj. That means we need to use this block of code. T is equal to pi, that means copy the record of pi player ith player into t, temporary variable t, then pi is equal to pj, copy record of jth player into the ith place, and then copy temporary variable into the jth place. In form of a diagram, you can visualize it like this. For example, let us assume the batting average of the ith player is 19.2 and batting average of the jth player is 31.7. Since batting average of this player is greater than this player, we should swap these two records, and it can be swapped by using the code that we have written. So we need to perform this for all the records. That means we should compare the record of first player with all remaining players, then record of second player with all remaining players, and likewise we should keep on comparing records of the players which are present in our list. So we will try and do this in our program. So let us go back into the program again. I will remove this code which is used for displaying only the records of that players which are satisfying a particular condition. Now we don't want that condition. I want the records of all the players should get displayed, but only thing is that they should get displayed in the descending order of the batting average. So how to do this? Before we display all these records, that means before we perform this operation, we should arrange the records in descending order of their batting average. That means we need to implement a code for sorting. And I already told you sorting in a one-dimensional array where we require two for loops like this. We need to write for I is equal to 0, I less than n minus 1, because we have to arrange n minus 1 positions, and then I plus plus. Inside this for loop we need to use another for loop, that is for j is equal to I plus 1, because I have to always start comparison from the next record onwards. So ith record I am comparing with next record onwards all the records. So I is 0, then first value of j will be 1, that means P0 record I am comparing with P1 record, then P2, then P3 up to Pn minus 1. So j should be less than n, and then j plus plus. Every time we come inside, we will do the comparison. We need to compare batting average, so we will write is pi dot batting average is less than pi, not pi, pj dot batting average. If this condition is satisfied, we need to swap the records. So we need to write t is equal to pi, then pi is equal to pj, and then pj is equal to t. This will swap the records. If the condition is satisfied, we will close all the curly brackets. Now if I wanted to have this code as a part of my program, we need additional variables. The additional variables required are integer variable j and a variable temporary variable t. But t is used for storing a record. That means it should be of type structure. So we will declare these two variables at the beginning. The variable t will be declared in the same line. So it will be a structure variable which will be able to hold a record temporarily. And variable j will be required to be declared over here. It is a normal integer variable, so it will be declared with along with I and n. Let us compile our program now and we will run it. It will ask me how many records you want to store. So let's say again I wanted to store 3 records. I am taking a small number because it will take a lot of time to enter the all information. So let's say first player is AAAA. Country of the player is, let's say, AAAA. Number of matches played by this player is, let's say, 111, and let's say batting average of this player is very less, 23.34. Then let's take second player, BBBB. The country of the player is, let's say, BBB. Let's take batting average of this player is very high, let's say 56.88. Then I made a mistake. So 56.88 is not a batting average. It will take only 56 out of 8, and that will be considered as number of matches played. But no, the other input it is not asking. So I made a mistake. I have to terminate this program. So let us terminate this program by entering some vague numbers. So now I have terminated it. Please ignore the previous run. We will compile it again. I will run it again. I wanted to store 3 records. Let's say first player name is AAAA, country of the player is AA, number of matches played is let's say 111, batting average is let's say 23.12. Then it is asking me second player name, so let's say BBBB, country of the player is let's say BBB, number of matches played are let's say 102, and batting average we will take little more, let's say 54.88. Now it will ask me third player name, so let's say CCCC, country of the player is let's say this, number of matches played by this player is let's say 89, and batting average of this player will take in between the previous two players batting average, let's say 37.77. So right now the records of 3 players are entered, and you can see they are in the random order of the batting average. After arranging them in descending order of batting average, the first player in the list should be B, the second player should be C, and third player in the list should be A. So this is what we wanted to achieve. Let us press enter and check what is the output of our code. So you can see the first player displayed is B, whose batting average is 54.88. Second player displayed is C, whose batting average is 37.77, and third player displayed is AAAA, whose batting average is 23.12. Of course, there is some displacement problem while displaying. We can avoid it very quickly by adding \t in our printf statement. But what is the main aim? Arrange the records in descending order of their batting average, which we achieved. So we can arrange the records of the players in descending order of their batting average by adding a code of sorting. So this is a standard procedure to sort anything. Now, what if I wanted to arrange the records in ascending order of their number of matches played? In that case, I need to change only the condition for comparison. Rest all things will remain same. What change I should do here? Since I wanted to arrange according to number of matches played, I should write here NOM. I should compare NOM field of ith player and jth player. So pi.nom and pj.nom. If I use less than sign over here, it will arrange them in descending order. But if I use greater than sign over here, it will arrange the records in ascending order. So this condition can be used to arrange records in ascending order of matches played. This will arrange the records in ascending order of matches played. So this simple change in the program that we have already written will change the output. Then there is a next possibility. They may ask you to display the records in alphabetical order of the player names. So we want the records to be displayed in alphabetical order of player names. In this case, we need to compare the NOP field. So instead of comparing NOM, we need to compare NOP like this. But this is not supported. Why this will not get supported? Because NOP is not the number. It is string. Strings cannot be compared by using less than greater than signs. The strings can be compared by using the predefined string functions. And we have already discussed about the predefined string function strcmp. So we will use strcmp function. What we wanted to compare the name of a ith player, that is pi.nop, with name of the jth player, that is pj.nop, and what we should check is this strcmp result is having value greater than 0. If it is having value greater than 0, that means alphabetically name of ith player is larger than name of jth player. You know, strcmp function provides 3 different results, either positive, negative or 0. When the result provided is positive, that means first string, that is pi.nop, is alphabetically larger than the second string, that is pj.nop. In that case, we need to swap the records. So in order to achieve this, we need to write a condition like this: strcmp compare pi.nop with pj.nop. If the result of strcmp is greater than 0, that means positive result, then swap the records. So this will arrange the records in alphabetical order of the player names. Okay, let us have this execution so that you will get convinced that how this will achieve the required thing. So again, I will compile my program. It will consist of one error because we are using a predefined function strcmp without a prototype. So in order to make use of strcmp function in our program, necessary thing is I should write hash include string dot h as a part of my program. Now we will compile our program. You can see there is no error now. We will run it. It will ask me how many records you wanted to store. So let's say 3 records I wanted to store. Let's say name of the first player is cccc dot c. Then name of the second country of the second player is, let's say, CCCC. Number of matches played is, let's say, 111, and batting average is, let's say, 11. This is not important for me. Now names are important. Name of the second player is, let's say, AAAA dot A. Country is, let's say, AA. Number of matches played are, let's say, 222, and batting average is, let's say, 22. Third player, let's say name of the third player is BBBB dot B. The country of the player is, let's say, BBB. The number of matches played are, let's say, 333. Batting average is, let's say, 33. So if you see, I have entered the records of the player in random order of their name. They are not alphabetically entered, but when I display them, they should get displayed in alphabetical order of their names. So when I press enter, what I will find in the output is this. It will display the record of first player as AAAA, second player B, and third player is C. So now you can see, though I have entered the records in random order of their names, after displaying they get displayed in the alphabetical order of their names. So this is one more new thing that you can learn, that they can ask you to compare records by considering any field present in that particular record. So we need to keep on changing only the condition inside this if. The for loops will remain same. The block of statements used for swapping the records will also remain same. As per the question, only you need to keep on changing the condition. So this in fact completes 3-4 programs based on this structure. Okay, let's go back to the presentation. Now I wanted to give you worksheet question. This is question number 3 for worksheet number 4. First 2 questions I have already given in the previous video lecture. So this is third question related to worksheet 4, and which requires again the record employee. In previous question I already asked you to define a structure employee to store the employee information like employee ID, employee name, experience in years, and salary. This structure you have to make use of, and then you have to write a program to display records of only those employees whose experience is more than 5 years, but their salary is less than 20,000. I hope you all will be able to solve this program. Now, in next video lecture, we will be discussing about the concept of structure inside structure, that is nested structure. So very soon I will try to complete the presentation on that topic, that is nested structure, along with a program, and I will upload it on my YouTube channel. Till that time, goodbye.